Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, we're going to do another filming location today. What we're going to do today is the 1987 sci-fi classic RoboCop. Turns out the movie itself was set in Detroit, but most of it was shot in Dallas. And so there's a lot of great filming locations there, and we're going to go check that out. Now, there's an interesting personal story with RoboCop for me, and that is because when I first saw the movie in 1987, it was one of my favorite movies. It had all the things I loved in movies at the time. It was, a lot of action, it was science fiction, it was a lot of violence, it was a lot of humor, and all those things just combined to make it a really great movie. The movie RoboCop is set in Detroit, and basically in the not too distant future, crime is rampant, and all city services have been transferred over to a corporation called Omni Consumer Products. And Omni Consumer Products controls everything, including the police department. In fact, the police actually are not happy with OCP and the way they're mismanaging the police department. Now, the CEO of OCP has this dream of building a new Detroit on the ashes of the old city. But before he does that, he has to root out all the crime that's rampant in the city. And the leading plan of doing that is to unleash a very intimidating 7-foot tall robot called the Ed 209 on the city to root out crime. And basically what ends up happening at the beginning of the movie is the Ed 209 is being demonstrated to the board of directors at OCP, and it malfunctions and literally turns a junior executive into hamburger meat. So obviously the Ed 209 is not going to work. There's an alternative plan called RoboCop, and RoboCop is a human police officer who's transformed with cybernetic technology into a cyborg, crime-fighting cyborg. And that's the whole premise of the movie. And like I said, it's a great story. There's a lot of great scenes, a lot of great violence, a lot of great action, all the things you'd love in a movie of that era. Now, like I said, this movie has a weird story, a weird kind of arc with me, because it started out being one of my favorite movies ever in the late 80s, 1987, when it was released. But at the same time, I was working at a company that manufactured compact discs and laser discs. At the time, we were trying to get a contract with one of the largest laser disc producers in the world, a company called Image Entertainment. And in order to prove our ability to make the discs, they gave us 2 master tapes to make discs from, to prove that we could do it. One of them was the movie Dirty Dancing, and the other was RoboCop. Now, we weren't very good at making laser discs. We were great at making compact discs, but laser discs were a lot more complicated. And at the time, I was in the mastering department, so we were making laser disc masters off of this thing over and over and over and over and over again. And I literally saw the movie hundreds of times. And I got so burned out on it, I couldn't watch the movie for another 2 decades. In fact, it's only recently I've been able to start watching this movie again. And it is still a really great movie. And like I said, when I found out that a lot of the movie was filmed in Dallas, I said, I want to do a filming location of this. So let's go to Dallas and check it out. All right, this scene appears very early in the movie. This is the exterior shot of Metro West Precinct in Detroit. Early on, Murphy is relocated to this from another precinct, and this is the front door. Actually, this is an old Dallas high school. Not sure what they're using it for now, but there's a number of scenes right at the beginning of the movie that are shot from basically this angle. This is the entrance into the main precinct here, where Murphy goes in and meets his new partner and finds out that we work for a living here, Murphy, and all that. And this is also where he first appears as RoboCop. And all the cops are wandering around, they're seeing him and saying, what the heck is this? So yeah, this is the old Metro West Precinct filming location, the exterior shot. All right, this is the exterior shot of the Omni Consumer Products headquarters building, or at least the bottom half of it. In reality, it's the Dallas City Hall building, and basically what they did is they CGI'd about 100 floors above this in order to complete the illusion that this was some massive headquarters in the downtown of old Detroit. And there's several prominent scenes that are shot here. The most memorable, I think, is towards the end of the movie when RoboCop is coming after Dick Jones, who's the corrupt second in command of the company, and he knows that RoboCop is coming after him. RoboCop pulls his car right into this area here, and there's an Ed 209 sitting out there in front of the building, protecting the building. And as RoboCop approaches, Ed 209 tries to warn him away, and RoboCop pulls out some sort of a big plasma rifle thing, and basically two shots at Ed 209 and blows the top off of the Ed 209, and he's just sitting there staggering around like a chicken with his head cut off until he falls on the ground, basically destroyed. At that point, RoboCop goes in these doors right here, goes up to the executive suite of the Omni Consumer Products building, and takes on Dick Jones for one final encounter. It's amazing. You don't think that a building like this actually exists, that it all had to be CGI, but it isn't. The bottom end of this thing is real. How awesome is that? I can't believe I'm here. RoboCop was right here, wiping out Ed 209. All right, this is the Renaissance Tower, a couple blocks away, and while you really can't tell from here, this is it was the top floor here where the boardroom of OCP was. The interior and exterior shots were in different locations. Turns out when this building was first built and used in the movie, the top floor was completely uninhabited, so it's just basically the movie producers could come in here and use this as as their set for the boardroom and all of the office space in the upper level of OCP. Now this building is only 56 stories tall, so it kind of pales in comparison to the OCP building, which was like 110 stories tall. But they chose it because it was it provided like a great view of the entire city below, and it was just kind of a good place that was available. Now I can't get up there at this point because apparently it's the top floor now is a library for some law firm, but I thought it was kind of interesting. One other little detail I found out when I was researching this, you may recognize this building as the headquarters of Ewing Oil from Dallas. All right, this is one of the interior shots of the Omni Consumer Products building, and basically these elevators were the elevators you'd use to go all the way up to the 110th floor or whatever it is. Now this building is only 13 floors tall, but apparently with a little trick camera work here, they could make this look like it was a huge, massive building. But yeah, there's a very famous scene of RoboCop riding up to the top floor to go meet Dick Jones at the end, where he basically confronts him with the evidence he has that he's corrupt and he's been cashing in on the drug cartel in Detroit, and basically after he gets fired, he throws him out of the window and he falls 110 floors to the ground. So yeah, that's the elevator right there. Some kind of pretty rainbow action on the floor here. It's kind of coming in from one of the windows above us here. The bread Zeppelin, how awesome is that? Now this is our next location. This one was particularly interesting to me because I realized when I was researching it that I've been here before. This is the building when I was doing my JFK video This is the building where Lee Harvey Oswald was shot by Jack Ruby. I got into Lee Harvey's prison cell in this building, and went down to the basement garage where the shooting actually took place, and saw the mugshot wall where Lee Harvey and Jack Ruby both had their mugshot taken. But in this movie, we're specifically interested in these windows right here. Towards the middle of the movie, after RoboCop has first kind of come out and started going after crimes, he comes upon this scene. And apparently a former councilman or something for the city of Detroit lost his election, became disgruntled, and took the entire city council and the mayor hostage. And at one point, in that window right there, he was yelling his demands out to the police officers, who said, if you release the mayor, we'll give you a blowpunk. And he was screaming, don't mess with me. You mess with me, you're gonna see what really happens. And at point he pulls the mayor up, holds him up to the window, and threatens to shoot him in the head. And RoboCop is in that window, looking through the wall with like a thermograph, can see the guy in there, reaches through the wall, pulls him through the wall, and throws him out that window. And he comes down here, and there's a scene with all the reporters, going, pointing the camera down at the ground as they follow the body out the window. But like I said, I thought this was really cool just because I've been in this building before. How odd is it that, the only couple times I've been to Dallas, I come to the same building twice. But this was a very memorable scene. All right, this is the house that Murphy supposedly lived in with his wife and kid. We see this house a couple of times in kind of a flashback scene when Murphy has just died, and he's kind of having memories of some of the highlights of his life. And then again, when he starts regaining his memory after he's become RoboCop, we keep seeing this the scene of this house over and over again. There's a little bit more plants out in front, but you can see the mailboxes there are clearly there. And basically, what ended up happening is the shot comes down this road right here, and kind of dead ends right into this house right here. And this is kind of the scene that they show. I've actually kind of reproduced the scene a little bit in my car. I'll let you see that here. So I'm kind of glad I got a chance to go visit some of these sites because, like I said, this movie's kind of run the whole gamut in terms of movies I've enjoyed and movies I couldn't stand and stuff like that. So now that we're kind of back on positive footing with the movie, I've had a good time checking out some of these filming locations. Hope you enjoyed coming along too, and I think that's all that I have for today. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.